If I had to choose one unique feature of watercolor that's different from most other mediums, it would definitely be the wet and wet technique. It's just so classically watercolor and really hard to replicate in literally any other fashion. But things are never as simple as they seem, and wet and wet can be kind of a nightmare if you're just starting out. A few key things to consider when you're doing the wet and wet technique. First of all, your paper really matters. It has to be watercolor paper, first of all. Good luck with literally anything else. The most ideal paper would be 100% cotton watercolor paper because it stays wet the longest, which allows for the most time to play with the bleeds. Now, 100% cotton watercolor paper can be very expensive, so I alternate between that and just like a Canson cold press paper, which is exactly what I'm using here. So obviously it still works. I just work in smaller chunks because I know I don't have as much time. There's a lot more to think about in balancing your effort when you're playing with the wet and wet technique, like how much paint or water you apply to the paper the first time. You don't want it to pool up and be too wet, but you don't want it to be dry so that it doesn't spread. And then same thing with the paint on your brush. If it's too wet, it'll spread too far. If it's not wet enough, it won't spread at all. There are just so many lessons to learn about balance when experimenting with this technique. Also, a lot of lessons in letting go. So if you're somebody that feels like you have to micromanage your life, this is a really great exercise for you. I'm not saying you don't need therapy, but this is a great addition to therapy. You should give it a try and let me know what you think. Or join us for Watercolor Club this week and I'll walk you through it. Okay, love you, bye.